Hi, it's Phoenix Genesis. So took some time off from YouTube because I was enjoying the holidays. Finally getting to use my PlayStation 5 after like 6 months of it sitting around to design a few new houses in Minecraft, which I will probably post. But I want to dive right in and show you I've been organizing my gear and thinking more and more in terms of being even more ultralight. What worked over the last 8 years on the trail, what hasn't worked. So first off, emergency poncho, great item to have. It doesn't have to be the Walmart Ozark Trail, though this one has been tried and true and it's very cheap. Only comes in this kind of clear color. It weighs, I think, like an ounce. Very light, very packable, as you see. Though, you know, you're going to take a lot of effort to repack these kind of things to get it back into that kind of smallness. So you may just want to bunch it up, and I throw it in like a plastic bag. So if it's wet, the rest of my gear inside my pack is not wet. This is a non-Walmart one. Orange is good if you can find an orange one at like a dollar store. They come in different colors in the dollar store. I think green, blue, yellow, and orange, and even purple. But orange is good because you could use it again for visibility. Like you could just throw it on the back of your pack if there's some hunters. Hey, Harley. There's my kitty Harley over there. And you want to make sure it's long enough, again, to cover the legs. And you don't need a rain kilt. You don't need rain pants. You're good to go. You got your shorts. You got that on. You can even put some wind pants on if you wanted just a little bit of water resistance on your legs if it was raining that hard. So very, very important item to have. And that goes with this. I do not like, Tyvek's kind of thick. And some people say it's not fully water proof, it's just water resistant. It's worked for me, but it's thick, and the Polycryo ground sheet rips all the time on me. So I mean, they last literally less than a week in the desert for me. I mean, I don't know what I do, but they tear. They're just useless, and they collect a lot of dust and dirt and grime, I find, which they're clingy to. Just dust just goes on them, and then all that dust braids your quilt, your bivvy, your tent, whatever you're using. So this is from 2017, and I like it because you have the shiny side to reflect body heat, and you have this side if you don't want to reflect anything. It's great too for just throwing your gear out in the ground real quick if you need to get something. Also during a break, you can use it to for some shade. You can put over your head instead of an umbrella. Stick your trekking pole or stick, kind of make some sticks with some cordage and make your umbrella. Now I've been taking this hundreds of miles over the years, and you can see it only has like this is like the big hole in it, which you could repair with duct tape in the field. A couple little places where it's kind of starting to wear out, but again, hundreds of miles versus Polycryo ground sheet, which rips almost instantly. So what's nice too is in your tent you can take this and you can clip it or duct tape it to the inside of your tent or your tarp, or even your ridge line or your hammock. I've done, and it reflects your body heat. And you could take your poncho and put this, like unzip your front of your tent, put this where your fire is, and all the heat will come in through this like a greenhouse effect. So you're going to draw that heat in, trap that heat in your tarp or your tent or your hammock, and then you're going to reflect it back to you. So again, these are multi-purpose things. Also, in a pinch, this can be a waterproof ground cloth to sit on if you need to, or even to cover your shoes at night so critters don't get in there. I've had spiders and all kinds of things, beetles, things crawl in my shoes. So you know, that kind of wraps up. Or even if you want to put it on your feet before you put your before you go ahead and put your socks on, so you're not putting your socks on in the dirt if you're out, you know, or you don't want to put socks and shoes on in your tent because that's going to get all gritty and abrasive. So multi-purpose. Then going along with that, we've got mosquito netting, and you know, instead of taking some wimpy little mosquito netting that all it does is maybe hold some of your clothes as a container and a ventilated container and keep mosquitoes out of your head, a bigger, wider one. This is a smaller version of that. Well, actually, you can sleep with it, especially if you're in a tarp or a bivvy and you don't need to bring a whole big mosquito net. to keep your self good, because you're in your quilt. The only thing that's out is this, and I like to put my arms out and stretch my arms. So this, having the wider mosquito netting, allows me to do that, and it gives more ventilation so I can actually breathe instead of the little black thing. And also with the really big one, not this one, but the really big one, what's great about this, and again, this just weigh a couple ounces, not even, I mean, my really big one I've taken that fits my whole body weighs like 3 ounces, so maybe this is 2 ounces, this is an ounce. What's great about these is, even the birds approve of them. Hey, birds. Or my cat's actually stalking the birds. But you can put your hands under here, so you can actually play with your phone in Oregon while the mosquitoes try to get at you. This is made by Zobo. This is from 2016, 100% polyester here, machine washable. And the one I have, it's kind of like a beigey color now from all the dirt in the desert, but it never got any holes in it. It worked great. I got these are for baby carriages, and I got them at Toys R Us before it went out of business, so you'll have to look around to see where you can get it, but any type of baby carriage mosquito netting like that is wonderful. Before I jump to the tarp, I want to talk about these leggings. So you just take any old pantyhose, black or brown, and you cut it to whatever size you want. So if you cut it small like this is to keep your quilt or your sleeping bag clean. Even if you have a liner, it keeps your liner clean. Feet get so dirty, and to go ahead and put them in, you're just going to regret it. No matter how clean you try to get them, they just don't get clean while you're hiking the trail. So you can cut these down, put them in, keep your quilt clean, and they're light, so they're breathable. So I don't like too much on my feet when I sleep. My feet need to breathe. I don't want to fester any blisters or anything, bacteria, toenail fungus, any of the funky stuff. So I want something breathable. This is breathable. Also, you can use these as like a Poncho mitten to put on your hand and kind of pull up to keep your arm warm, or bunch it down like right in, around the wrists, and it'll keep like everything, wind and everything from getting in there. Also, you can use these as like gaiters, put on your feet and bunch that down. Now you can cut the toes off and just make little sleeves that don't go on the hands that you can put on your arms and legs. I've made those too if I don't want to take full on compression sleeves. And again, these are long ones with the feet. So maximum coverage when you're sleeping at night to stay warm. And again, when you push them all the way down, there's so much coverage. I think they work better than gaiters because they're more breathable than the gaiter. They don't get caught on anything, and they're just, they work fantastic for me. I used them this year. Last but not least, I made a custom Dyneema tarp. This may be a little too little for some people. And again, this is a low snow year. So far, we never know what's going to happen in January and March. We could be surprised, but miracle March. But so far, we got 33% snowpack. It's probably not going to rain a lot. So I made this tarp. It does stretch out very well. It stretches out as much as my So Poly Sea to Summit Poncho tarp. And yeah, my sewing really sucks. Of course, Dyneema is expensive. This was like $200 from Dutchware. And then I sewed these tie-outs because this is supposed to be like kind of a catenary cut. So I made it so I could make it actually an A-frame. And, you just want this pattern when you're sewing. I don't have a sewing machine. My sewing skills are like next to nil, but it's tight. I really put a lot of effort into sewing it. It took a couple weeks where I on and off again. And this is to put the line through it. And I got these, I just found this on the ground. So I washed it. It was clean. It was new. I cut it up into pieces, and I made the tie-outs, and already came with some designated tie-outs. So this is, I think, a 4 by 8, I think. It's the same size as like the Sea to Summit or my Trail Coat poncho, basically. And it's Dyneema, and it weighs like 3 ounces. And also what you could do is you could take something like this, if you don't want to go with so little like a bivy and tarp system like I do. You could take this at 3 ounces and put it over your Dyneema duplex. or your other 7x9 tarp, and Dyneema tarp, and guess what? Or your Soul Poly Poncho tarp, and guess what? For an extra 3 ounces, you've just created a double wall tent, and you're good to go. Also, if your rain system were to fail, you've got this extra Dyneema that's waterproof. You could even make it, strap it down to make it a pack cover. So again, it's multifunctional, but or in a tarp situation, you could use it to close off one side of the tarp, and then 3 sides are now closed up to the elements, and you can put your rain poncho on the other side, or you could use it as a ground cloth, but I don't recommend that because it's too expensive and it abrades. Dyneema tends to Cuban fiber abrades in with rocks and sand and grit. So for $200, I'm not going to be putting that on the ground. So there you have it. That's a couple little, that goes a little. I'm even using the Z-Pack sack for my Z-Packs one because it just fits in there so nicely. So anyway, it fits nice and small in there, and that weighs nothing. People say don't take stuff sacks, but I mean, come on. I bought a bunch of Dyneema ones, which I'll go over in another video. They're worth it. So hope everyone has got their permits. Yesterday was the last round. Everything's gone now. I was able to move my boyfriend's a day before me, so that's great. Instead of like middle of March. He's in end April like I am. So I'm very happy about that. And I've been working out a lot. That's another reason you haven't heard from me. I've been so tired. So I've been working out and just getting my gear organized. Anyway, I'll have more videos up and I'll see you guys on the trail. Bye.